Jabroni? Jabroni? Jabroni, can you hear me? Jabroni! Answer me!
Where you going, boy?
Alright. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Alright guys, the time is here. We are here and we are ready to give you our review for Insidious Chapter 1. We've done Chapter 2. We've done Chapter 3. We're doing Chapter 1 and now we are awaiting the arrival of Insidious Chapter 4, which is due out January the 5th. But let's talk about Insidious Chapter 1. Insidious Chapter 1 is a fantastic horror movie. We're talking horror, we're talking suspense, we're talking thrills, we're talking dirty diapers. Question number 1 right off the bat. Did you at all ish your pants?
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
4 times! And I'm not afraid to admit it. What makes Insidious Chapter 1 a great movie? What do you think?
The reason why I think Insidious 1 is the best is because of all the jump scares.
Oh, you should have warned me.
The small stuff that starts off in the beginning. Of course.
Such as? Well, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. The absolute first thing that happens, it starts out very minute. Minute. Which is a French term that my music teacher taught me. I believe it means Minnesota. When Renee goes looking into the living room and she's trying to find her books, they're scattered all over the floor. That's the first piece of evidence that something very spooky is going to be happening. Was it the kids? Was it a ghost? Was it the Fruity Pebbles?
I think it was the Pillsbury Double.
What this movie does great, does better than Chapter 2, and definitely better than Chapter 3.
Definitely.
And honestly, better than most horror movies today, is that this movie builds up your fear. It doesn't just throw you into the pool of fear, it dips your toes in it. It takes your pinky toe and dips it in the cold, brisk water of death and destruction. This movie is so different, especially when it comes to all the other horror movies that have jump scare after jump scare after jump scare. It doesn't make you have jump scare syndrome, where you get whiplash every 10 minutes and your popcorn flies everywhere. That was almost physical assault. Insidious Chapter 1 has great atmosphere.
Yes.
Right? It has a family that is so believable. You have a wife and a husband that are actually having relatable problems that ooh and I can relate to. Another thing that this movie does great is it will show you signs. It will show you a presence. A demonic presence. Such as the books. Also, the baby monitor scene, I think that was awesome.
Yes.
Mama's sitting there playing on the piano, everything's just fine, and then you start hearing these whispers, you start hearing these voices, And then Sting from WCW shows up trying to baby snatch her.
Do you think Sting will come back and try to get the baby?
I
When
think
the baby
if-
gets older.
I think if Sting comes back to defeat every member of the Wolfpack at Royal Rumble in 1997, he will be back to steal his baby. I think one of the main parts that really was a jaw dropper for me was the bloody handprint, right? That was on Dalton's cover sheet,
Yes.
right there at his ankles, because that is just a flat out message that I am coming for your baby. And you know who the last person in the history of the planet to say I'm coming for your baby is? Woo! 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 Woo!
I love Tucker and Specs. And I'll tell you what, and I'm going to be completely honest, if it wasn't for Elise, I feel like these horror movies would be like making me not shit my pants, but obliviate my pants. Because Elise comes in, and she's just Elise, man. I don't get it. Something in my head is just like, why would this older woman make me feel more calm about a movie?
I think Lin Shaye is just a great actress.
Yeah.
She has an unbelievable way of just making you feel her emotions.
Yes.
When she is taking on a demon or a monster, you're right there with her. But you're not afraid anymore.
Nope.
Because she's not afraid.
That's it.
Don't get me wrong. Everybody in this movie does a great job. Patrick Wilson, Rose Byrne, they do a good job. Don't get me wrong. Could not have. Do you agree or disagree? Could not have picked a better couple.
Yes.
A better husband and a better wife. Killed their roles. But man, without Lin Shaye, this movie would not be as good as it is. Because like I said before, she has a way of sucking you in to her role, and you are right there with her. When she's scared, you're scared. When she's brave, you're brave. And they really nailed it with this actress. They really killed this role.
Actress.
She is very good. She's very talented. So props. I also think that another great way that this movie scares you is the fact that it doesn't have music like we're used to. Like we might used to be having.
Well, it did have music in one part, and that made me scared. The little boy, she walks outside. She's playing a nice, like a little slow music in there.
Just a little
slow tune.
Something
Then,
to get you in the mood
as
for
soon as
maybe a
she hits
waltz.
that track-
Maybe a waltz. Would you like to waltz?
Let's waltz.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that's what the old man did in the shower at Home Alone.
Huh?
Oh, you're cooking, Frankie! You get out of here, you little pervert! I'm gonna slap you silly!
I remember that.
Do you?
Yes.
It's a great movie, Home Alone.
Might review it.
Comment below if you want to see a Home Alone review.
And as soon as she takes the trash, she's turning around and she's looking through her window, and there's a little boy doing this.
Straight up shindigging. Now, how creepy would that be?
That scares you.
Yeah, because the dude had on like an outfit that they would wear in 1701.
Yes.
All right, we're talking about some old school outfit. This boy don't belong here.
You don't know who he is. It don't even show. It's just a little boy. They just decided to put.
That goes back to what I was saying earlier. The imagery, the atmosphere that this movie has scares you. It doesn't need to be balls to the wall, straight up in your face, scary stuff.
No.
This can drop hints. And speaking of that boy, we just have to mention the awesome shot when Renee was walking through the house, just doing her, daily thing. And there's this one shot. It's almost a split second. It's like 1 second. Blink, and you miss it. The little boy is actually over in the corner, like way over here in the corner with his face against the wall.
Yes.
Creepy as newts.
He's literally in the corner, like this. How creepy is that?
What is the one point in this movie that just did it? That just scared you? I ain't talking about I'm talking about ish yo pants.
I'm going to have to say the one part that ished my pants is whenever Josh is in the further and he's looking inside of the house.
Correct.
And what he does is he goes into a room and he sees a woman with a shotgun. And he's asking her where his son is at. So he goes into the living room and she's standing there with the shotgun. And she's done killed all 3 family members, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Family members.
Yeah.
Father,
Whoever it is.
Mother, and sister. That's who I believe.
Yep.
So she's killed all 3 of them. And
with a big grin on her face.
Yes.
Creepy imagery.
He's about to head upstairs because he hears something upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So he's away from the scene and he's like, okay, I'm about to head upstairs. So he's taking a look upstairs. And then by the time he turns his head back to the family that was just shot, all 4 of them are staring at him.
Mm-hmm.
Probably this close. Smiling at the same creepy smile. And you see it. That
they pop up.
So scary.
They pop up in a split second.
That was very, very scary. Very, very scary.
If I could say what my biggest fear was, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you're watching this video, I know you feel me. This is the epitome moment of Insidious. This is the moment that everybody, even though they know it's coming, still their butthole puckers up tighter than a snare drum that you could actually hear it if you hit it with a drumstick. The scene that I'm referring to is when you got Josh, you got Renee, and you got Josh's mother and Elise. Everybody's there, and Josh's mom is telling him about a dream that she's had the past night, where she actually goes into Dalton's room, and this is where we get a not a full glimpse. You know, like in Jaws when it showed like the underbelly and maybe just the mouth of Jaws, how you just got an idea on just how big this creature was. That was scary. You didn't see full shark. And that's what happened in this dream. We didn't see full demon. We just saw like maybe his outline and maybe just a little shade of red. Yeah. We got to have a glimpse of what this monster was. And that's what made this scene so awesome, is because we got a glimpse of what we were going to be getting into. And it was scary as ish. When Josh's mom, speaks to the demon and says, "Who are you?" And she tells him that he's a visitor. And she says, "What do you want?" And then that hand just creeps up. And it makes that, that stick sound that when you snap a twiggy or two or whatever, it goes tick, 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 tick. What the main thing that makes this movie, but beyond Elise, beyond the fear, beyond all these scary things that are happening, is I got to give props to the director James Wan.
I love James Wan.
James Wan being involved in all these movies, Saw, Fast and the Furious. And now Insidious movies. He's doing
the Annabelles,
doing a great job. James Wan, keep it up, man.
James Wan,
yes,
impressive job.
Yes,
as always. Yep. That's why you deserve a salute.
Insidious is a movie that you could just ask that question. Go up to your friend, anybody that you know, and just say, "Hey, Billy Bob. Hey, Fannie Mae."
Fannie Mae and Billy Bob.
Fannie Mae and Billy Bob. And one of 2 things is going to happen. That person's either going to say, "Oh yeah, man, that movie's great. I love Insidious." Or that person's going to say, "Oh man, yeah, I've seen that movie and that movie's great." Insidious is that type of movie that is known for either option A, being awesome, fantastic, great scary movie, or B, the movie that will make you cry and urinate in your underwear. Don't say you haven't done it, because I have. Last week. Do you? I know I do. Me personally, I have a dislike. And believe it or not, it is only one dislike that I would like to discuss. Do you have any dislikes before I go?
I have one dislike.
If I go.
So my dislike is the fact that Dalton and his dad has escaped from the demon.
Right.
They've gotten away.
Right.
And the dad stays back because he gets tired whenever he's done ran him so far. Even though I don't see why he gets tired as soon as he goes through the front door and he's only a couple more steps away. Okay, that's cool. I'll slide that one over.
Okay.
But the fact is that they end up separating and Dalton ends up getting attacked by the demon.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton somehow slips away from the demon and takes a full sprint during the hallway, and you can see the demon crawling on the side, getting just neck on neck with each other.
In another split second, and they would have collided.
Yes, all the demon had to do was jump, and he would have had Dalton in his hands.
Yeah, they're right there at each other. The demon has Dalton right there in grasp.
But it goes to a first-person camera view of walking slowly into Dalton's body, of apparently Dalton walking into his own body.
Right.
But it's kind of like a walk, so it kind of didn't really get me as much. It kind of made me think, how come the demon didn't get a hold of him? Or why is he walking? So that was one of my dislikes. Retro, take it away.
The question is, just bouncing off of what you said, how did the demon not get Dalton? We will apparently never know the answer to that. I'm just saying, if I'm hungry, and there is a Hot Pocket that is on a skateboard, and the skateboard is going 1 mile an hour,
yes,
I'm going to catch that Hot Pocket.
Especially if you can crawl 0.2 seconds down the whole entire hallway.
Exactly. If I could crawl along the wall. The Hot Pocket's history. The Hot Pocket is going down in my gut, down in my belly, and then it's going out my chute. The poop chute. So that's your dislike. Well, you know what? I completely agree with you.
I appreciate that.
I take back what I said. 2 dislikes. That being one of them. Because it doesn't make sense.
It don't.
There should have been a resolution. There should have been an epic showdown, not between Josh and Demon, but between Dalton and Demon. I wanted to see Dalton say, hey, you know what, Mr. Creeper? No, I'm not going with you, Demon. Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
I wanted to see what would happen when Dalton faces off against the demon. Because it didn't make any sense for Dalton to just run away from the demon, like the demon's just going to give up. Now, if I may say, my biggest gripe, and we're talking number 1 here,
okay,
but it's a tough road to travel here when we talk about this issue right here, because I'm sure a lot of you will think that this was a good scene, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me that this was a deal breaker scene. The scene is Josh finding his way into the pit of Mr. Lavahead, whatever you want to call him, the demon. So Josh makes his way into the pit, finds Dalton, finds his son. They're celebrating, they're hugging. It's Barney. I love you, you love me. So everything, and I mean everything, we're talking about the movie, Insidious Chapter 1, has led up to this point. That Josh is finally going to find Dalton and finally going to be able to bring him out of the further, right? And this is the scene that was either going to make it or break it with the audience. And for me personally, it broke it. When we finally get a glimpse at this demon, Josh is warned by Dalton that he'll hear you, he's up there, and we get our first glimpse, our first actual look into the face. And it's not scary at all. I did not have any fear whatsoever. The dude looked like a Swiss clockmaker.
Looks like the guy off of Star Wars mixed together with Freddy Krueger.
Yeah! Looks like Darth Maul and Fred Krueger mixed together. The thing that's been making you poop your pants throughout this whole movie. And what do we get? What do we see? We see a Swedish clockmaker who is working on his fingernails and is surrounded by fake teeth, Barbie dolls, and a ballerina mask.
Listening to
Tiptoe through the window, through the garden, tiptoe through the garden with me. But even the music could not take Fred Maul, the Swedish clockmaker, and make him scary. Because it just wasn't.
Yeah.
And when that scene's over with and they're making their escape and the monster, shows up right down beside Josh's face and he hisses him 50 feet. I mean, I've heard of bad breath, right? I have been close to somebody who breathed on me and the Levi tag fell off. The demon's defense is breath. Blows him away with his mouth. I mean, yeah, cold cops him one time. Yeah. But, man, I was just thinking, this guy, Josh is about to get messed up.
Yes.
I'm thinking Josh is about to get destroyed, but we get...
Great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Great cast. Characters were awesome. Lynn Shay, you are fantastic. You hold this movie together.
Always. Always.
Great atmosphere. Great sounds. Great imagery. Mm-hmm. Very, very little to dislike.
And great way of twisting it into Chapter 2.
Yep.
There's a really, really good way of twisting into Chapter 2.
The ending to this movie leaves you wanting, leaves you desiring to see what happens next.
It does.
And I mean, I'm talking about as soon as the credits start rolling, and there's really no credits, it's just a Insidious pops up on the screen.
Yes.
But as soon as this movie's over, you immediately
You can't wait to go watch that other movie.
You're absolutely right. You cannot wait. I know when I was in the theaters, I wanted so bad for Chapter 2 to just start playing. I wanted to see what happened.
Just at the end of the credits, just go ahead and start rolling the next one.
All right, guys, it's that time. It is rating time. Would you like the honors, or shall I take the reins?
I shall take it. For Insidious Chapter 1, Elite Jabroni's rating is A minus.
A minus.
A minus.
That's really good.
I had A from the beginning.
Right.
But whenever it came down to it, in the very end it just seemed like they were trying to get the movie over a little bit quicker. Okay. Considering the fact of him jumping into the body, didn't want to add another scene and Dalton and the demon getting at it, how Dalton got into the body. It just seemed like a quick way of showing it. Even at that, they could have showed a way of the Wicked Witch and Josh, a little fight scene of them two, and how the Wicked Witch beat Josh into his body. Something like that. It would have made a great A, but just the ending seemed a little bit too quick for me, so I'm going with an A minus.
You know what? I'm right there with you. I am in pretty much agreement with everything that you said. But yeah, it was because of the fights, and yeah, there was a few things that we didn't see. I wanted to see a fight between the witch and Josh. I really wanted to see what happened between the demon and Dalton. But at the same time, as much as I wanted to see that, I feel like the lack of what we didn't see wanted me to go back and see with Chapter 2 so much more. I felt like it drew me in more, like, well, man, maybe it's in Part 2. Man, maybe we'll finally find out.
Yeah.
So I think it's that lack of being able to get 100% of what I wanted is what bumps up my grade. My grade is going to be an A, a firm A, strong A. I believe it will stand the test of times. I believe that 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, it will be looked at as a classic, that people will, the way we look at
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, or maybe, Dracula. So that is our review. That is just these two guys. That
was the way of saying it.
These two guys. Does it really sound like that?
Yeah, like guys.
Did I sound like an Arnold Schwarzenegger who just had his mouth numbed for dental surgery?
No, that would have been a little bit deeper.
Guys. That's literally.
Guys. Give these people air. Get to the chopper.
Alright, guys, so that's our review for Insidious Chapter 1. The trilogy is complete, but now we await the arrival of Chapter 4. A minus for Elite Jabroni. Strong, firm, and subtle A from Retro Light Man. We really hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. If you like what you see, smash the crap out of that like button. Keep it retro, and come towards the light, man! Take, for instance, the books that are missing from the bookshelf. I don't like that. No!
Yeah. What am I doing here? I just watched the movie. I can't even think straight.
Insidious Chapter 1 has great atmosphere. I see you smile on your face.
It's just like we just like watched the movie. It's like it's just so hard to talk about. It's like, wow, this movie's so great. We can't tell you why. Dude, I'm getting like paranoid in here, man. I keep hearing voices.
Paranoid? So relatable people.
Dude, you're.
What? What happened?
You're not hearing this?
Nope. I hear a creak.
And it's kind of lock the door.
Yeah, man.
Good. Alright, we're good. Stop, man.
He literally is afraid to do this review right now. And another great thing that this movie does so well is it does, what the, see that? I thought that was a spirit's turd that just fell on my hand. Who do you voodoo?
You knew who voodoo you.
You know who you voodoo do. Voodoo when you blew the dude on the Voodoo Hoodoo show.
Ching chong, fing fong, ring rong, ding dong.
Flip flap, patty whack, knee sack, fankle hat.
Whoo! Okay. Father, daughter, water, gardener.
Earlobe, nose hole, eyebrow, hey how.
Okay. White out, pitch black, happy do, happy sack.
Full beard, titties weird. Well, babe, goodbye.
This ain't babe. This is Kristen. This is my aunt.
Well, aunt, goodbye. By the time you get naked, I'll be asleep.
Please don't show that.
How you doing?
Gee, I might have killed someone by then. I was so out of it, but I woke up, thought I heard something. Now I got the gun loaded and ready. It might have been me being so tired. I don't know, but this business being here alone sucks. And I heard a word from him. Oh, Lord, never mind. Friday night when he acted like an idiot. He didn't want to give me my house key back either.
But that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I've lost 64 ounces. Calories. I've lost 65 calories in the past 10 minutes for doing a dynamic workout.
What dynamic workout?
And
You got a burp?
nope, just lost it
Oh.
immediately. I think I have sometimes